Hello, I'm Diana Elizabeth Jordan. I'm an actor, a solo artist, leader, and filmmaker, artist educator, and disability influencer. I'm so sorry I can't be there in person today for the opening of Opulent Mobility 2021. As a solo artist, I love exploring ways to combine storytelling and multimedia. I always hope that audiences will find universal connections in the personal stories I create and share. This is a bit of an experiment for me, but today I'm happy to share my first multimedia storytelling project, My Grandmother's Poem. Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Has had hats in it, and splendors, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor bare. But all the time, I've been climbing on and reaching land and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dirt where there'd been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down in the depth because you find it kind of hard. Don't you fall now. For I'm still going, honey. I'm still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Both my grandmothers, Naomi Harper Jordan and Juma Brown Crawford, loved Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. Though Grandma May Crawford, who lived the longest, taught it to me when I was a young girl. I think they both saw it as a metaphor for how they chose to live their lives. And I think Grandma May Crawford, knowing some of the barriers I would face in my life, hoped I too would adopt the poem as a roadmap for how I would live my life. Both my grandmothers were born before the 19th Amendment, which would give some women the right to vote, was ratified. They came of age and raised their children in a time where segregation was not only accepted, but tolerated and often legal. Both of my grandmothers would be in their 50s when the Civil Rights Act was passed in 1964. It has been 101 years since the ratification of the 19th Amendment, over 50 years since the passing of the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and 31 years since the passing of the American with Disabilities Act. Yet barriers to access, equity, and inclusion are disproportionately impacting people of color and people with disabilities, two historically marginalized communities I am proud to identify with. For many historically marginalized communities, various forms of art have been the voice of our numerous untold stories of challenges, frustrations, sorrows, and celebrations. Tonight, we honor artists who are using their gift to celebrate disability culture. Yet, as we celebrate, there are still many barriers and stigmas that need to be dismantled for people with disabilities to have true inclusion, access, and equity. The irony of using a poem that uses the stairs as a metaphor when stairs are often a barrier to access, equity, and inclusion is not lost on me. Yet I hope my grandmother's favorite poem can serve as a tribute to the countless heroes and sheroes who fought for and willingly risked and sacrificed their lives to ensure equity, inclusion, and access for all. Or maybe use the words of this poem as a call to action by not letting any imposed dark corners, tax, splinters, or torn up boards stop us from loudly and strongly using our voices, because the fight for inclusion, equity, and access of the disabled community and as many other marginalized intersections still continues.